Go ahead.
The time is now 11:02 p.m. and the Board of Trustees is reconvening in open session. We'll now take action. I'll entertain a recommendation for administrators and other human resources related matters.
Mr. President, I move to approve the administration's hiring recommendations, but table police department hiring for separate future consideration by the board.
I have a motion from Ms. Cortez. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Got a second from Mr. Velasco. Ms. Cortez?
Yes.
Mr. Velasco?
Yes.
Ms. Thomas?
Yes.
Ms. Celadon?
Yes.
Mr. Samaripa?
I do vote yes for the approval of the administration hiring, but vote no for the tabling of the police department hiring.
Okay. Ms. Serna?
Same here. I approve the administration recommendation, but no for the police department hiring.
And Elmer Fisher, I approve yes for the administration hiring and recommendations to table the police department. Let the record show that it passes 5 for the administrator hiring and recommendations, but table police department hiring for the separate future consideration by the board, and 2 against. Okay.
Is that correct, Elmer?
We'll now move on to. I'll go ahead.
Elmer, can you make sure that Carla writes that down correctly?
Yes.
That it was
Yeah.
2 that
I'm
said
not sure.
for
Just for
administration.
clarification, technically, wouldn't it be 7 for administration since they're voting for that? And
Yeah.
then
Right.
2 against the Manor ISD Police Department
So
hire.
technically, we should have had maybe 2 different motions.
Yeah, I would have suggested 2 different motions.
No, it has to be the same
Mr.
motion.
Trevino?
Sure.
Mr. Trevino?
Since the motion it was as made, it really, the vote is 5-0 because the motion has 2 components to it.
Yes.
There can be a subsequent motion that can be made. But this motion, the vote is 5-0.
It'd be 5-0 or 5-2?
5-2.
5-2, I'm sorry, 5-2.
I was gonna say, okay.
5-2 because the motion is complete. It's total. It's one motion.
Right, so you and Janie would be against that one motion, technically.
We just clarified what we were actually
I
voting against. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the clarification. Okay, we'll now move on to consideration and possible action on the proposed construction contract with Weaver and Jacobs Constructors, Inc. for the Manor New Tech Phase 2 concession stand project. And I believe that there are some questions there.
Yes, this is Ms. Thomas. We were presented with, I believe, 3 different phases of possibility for the concession stand area. One had everything with the rails going around. It also had the awning and all. It was complete. That was the one that also had the alternative when you presented. Is that what we're voting on tonight?
I'm actually going to give that question to Troy just to make sure. There are 2 different alternatives that are listed on the contracts. And so this contract, the A101, does include the 2 alternatives. And so I just want to give this question over to Troy just to make sure that alternate 1 is including that item for you.
Hi guys, this is Bo. Hope y'all are having a good evening, even though it's late. Alternate number 1, the picture that Alfredo has is, if you can put it up, is for the, yes, thank you, Alfredo. That is for the added canopy. You see the walkthrough area there where the fencing is shown between the main building that says MNTHS Coliseum and then the wing wall where the gray area is. That walkthrough area, after you get your tickets and walk through, that's the added canopy that is part of alternate number 1.
Yeah, but we had a phase that had everything on it, and then when we phased, didn't do it in the last bond, there was from what I understand, there when we looked at it when you did the presentation, there was a modified version of that. But now that we have a new bond, I thought that we had the original where everything was included. Are we voting on the one that has everything included tonight?
If you accept the alternate number 1 and the alternate number 2, then yes, ma'am. That's alternate number 2 right there.
Right, with the fencing all the way around.
Yes, ma'am, with the fencing and the pilasters all the way around. And yes, right where the cursor is going, all the way around. So it looks that same design as all the way around the stadium.
So 2 was just everything that was taken out because it had got scaled down. But now 2 is with everything put back in, correct?
1 and 2 include everything to be put back in. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, Bo. This is Carla Stevens Gonzalez with the Director of Purchasing. And so we are presenting these 2 contracts for you for the concession stand project. Do we have any other questions? So just one more thing, the contract sum is $2,811,000. And so that does include the alternate 1 and alternate 2. And so that's what we would be, you guys would be approving tonight is these 2 contracts. We have been working with Reaver and Jacobs. And so they are aware that we are presenting these 2 contracts tonight. And once this is approved, we will start working on signatures.
Any questions? All right, I'll entertain a motion.
Do I need to read them? There's a motion to accept 1 and 2 as presented to the board for Manor New Tech High School's concession stand.
I have a motion from Ms. Thomas. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a second from Ms. Cortez. Ms. Thomas?
Yes.
Ms. Cortez?
Yes.
Ms. Celadon?
Yes.
Mr. Velasco?
Yes.
Mr. Samaripa?
Yes.
Ms. Serna?
Yes.
Elmer Fisher, yes. Let it show that it passes 7-0.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, guys. This is gonna be
President Fisher, if I may.
Yes.
President Fisher,
Go ahead, Ann.
the motion, as I understood it, was to accept 1 and 2, but I did not hear where we were approving the contract.
So can you put in chat what you want me to say?
Or we can just add the contract, correct, Ann?
Yes, I believe y'all accepted alternates 1 and 2 at the last meeting, but the motion for today, if you so desire, would be a motion to approve the contract as presented, which includes alternates 1 and 2.
Correct.
I would like to make a motion to approve the contract as presented.
I'll second it.
I have a first from Ms. Thomas and a second from Ms. Cortez. Ms. Thomas?
Yes.
Ms. Cortez?
Yes.
Ms. Celadon?
Yes.
Mr. Velasco?
Yes.
Mr. Samaripa?
Yes, and I thought Tamika did say as presented. Maybe I was hearing things, but anyway.
Ms. Serna?
Yes.
And And then Elmer, yes. All right. All right.
Thank
I
you.
believe Bo was trying to say something after we made the motion.
Thank you, guys. We appreciate you very much. This is going to be a great project. We're excited.
Thank you, sir.
All
Thank you,
right,
board.
thank you.
No change orders.
No change orders. No
Yes,
change.
sir. Yes, sir. I got you.
All right. Next regular scheduled board meeting is scheduled for June 15th. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I have a motion from Ms. Celadon.
Second it.
I have a second from Ms. Cortez. Ms. Celadon,
Yes.
Ms. Cortez,
Yes.
Ms. Thomas,
Yes.
Mr. Samaripa,
Yes.
Ms. Serna,
Yes.
Mr. Velasco,
Yes.
and Elmer Fisher. Yes. Right. You all have a good night.
Thank you.
Good night.